Hello, this is Mr. Molo for lesson 8-5, factoring special products. So this is going to be kind of like 8.3 where we are just factoring the trinomials, except this time they're all going to be perfect squares. And sometimes it'll say, can you do it? And if it's not a perfect square, no. So then you're just done. You can't do anything about that. But if it's a perfect square, then they would like you to do it. Alright, so like looking at this problem, 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. 9 is a perfect square because you can do 3 and 3. 4 is a perfect square because you can do 2 and 2. But then you also have to make sure that when you're making the parentheses for your FOIL, that they do still do equal 12x. Okay, kind of the same thing here. 9x squared can be split up to 3x and 3x. 64 can be split up to 8 and 8. But this time, when you have that middle term in the with negative 15x, you're not going to get that from 3x and 8. So no, this is not going to be a perfect square trinomial. And then with this one, so x squared minus 14x plus 49. So I know I'm going to have x minus 7 and x minus 7. And then am I going to get negative 14 with that middle term? And I am, because x times negative 7 is a negative 7x. Negative 7 times x is another negative 7x. Put them together, and you get negative 14x. Alright, here I have 9x squared minus 6x plus 4. So again, 9 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square. And let's see if I'm going to get that negative 6 when I FOIL it out. So I should have 3x minus 2 and 3x minus 2. Okay, so it's going to give me my 9x squared, that's going to give me my positive 4. That'll give me a negative 6x. And that'll give me a negative 6x, which is going to give me a negative 12x, which is not what the problem says. It just says negative 6x. So no, this is not going to be a perfect square trinomial because of that negative 6x in the middle. Alright, same thing here, 81x squared and 25, so it's going to end up being 9 times 5, which is 45. And 45 and 45 is going to give me that 90. So that's just kind of the quick way to do it if you can do it in your head. This one's kind of the same thing, so I have a 6, and then 14 is not a perfect square, so I know right away that one's not going to be possible because there's no perfect square of 14, so we can't do a problem like that. This one's going to be 3x plus 1. I have it written down right here. And 3x plus 1. And then once I FOIL this out, 3x and 1 is 3x. 1 and 3x is 3x. You add those together, you're going to get that 6x in the middle. And then let's make sure that we are looking at the signs too. This one's not going to be possible because there's no way I'm going to get the same number and get a negative. So remember, perfect squares always have to be positive with it too. So I can have a positive 3 and a negative 3 to give me a negative 9. So something else to pay attention to is those signs. And then another thing to pay attention to is the variables. So I can tell right away, because of this variable being a 5, there's no way it's going to be a perfect square, because I can have 2y and 2y, or y squared and y squared, I mean. That's not going to give me y to the 5th. I can do a y to the 3rd and y to the 2nd, but then that's not a perfect square because they're not the same. So make sure you are having the same variable when you're multiplying, and then the same exponent with it.